Hey, it's Adam, and in this video I'm going to show you how I edit and schedule all of my short videos. Let's go. Okay, so the tool that I use to edit all of my short videos at the moment is called Kapwing. Other video editing tools are available. I'm not affiliated with them in any way. I use the tool because I find it very easy to use, and that's all there is to it. What allows me to go from the video that I've shot on my phone or whatever camera I'm using to a fully edited video as quickly as possible. And this is kind of it. The main reason is that it's got all the tools that you need in there. It's got all the assets that you need in there, so there's no other messing about that you need to do. For example, you got loads of access to like stock footage, you've got stock photos, you've got stock music, sound effects, everything just all there, quite easy to use. If you need to record some audio or do some text to speech, you've got the options right there, no messing around. And the most important one really is the subtitle generation feature that will automatically generate subtitles, and you can then tweak the subtitles, which I'll show you in a moment, and you can tweak the text and you can change how they look as well. There's a bunch of other features there as well. So for this video, I'm just going to show you how I would go about editing a short video. I'm just going to drag and drop a video that I shot for my new YouTube channel, Trading Card Zen, which I started with my partner Nicola, who's also Blogging Wizards editor. Now, you can also import videos via a YouTube URL as well, which is pretty cool. Now, first thing is we've got a panel on the right hand side, which is where all of your editing functionality is. So if you've got nothing selected at all, so you can just click in this black space here, any empty space on there would do it. It'll deselect whatever else you've got selected, and then you'll get the main project settings. Now, depending on the aspect ratio that you filmed your video, then you may need to resize it. So sometimes if I've recorded a video that's horizontal, I will, after I've imported it, I'll go to resize project and I'll select vertical, fill and crop, or fit to center depending on what it needs, and click resize, and then job done. There are a few other things to take note of here. What's pretty cool is safe zones feature. So if you're just doing videos for TikTok and you want to make sure that whatever you're adding to the video is as visible as possible, you can add these safe zones. I sometimes work with all of them on, sometimes I don't even use them, but it's nice to have them there. You can also save your current version and revert back to previous versions if you've made some edits that you don't quite like. So I'm going to start off with some just minor edits, chopping out bits that I don't need or that kind of thing, or changing where the video ends. Usually what I like to do is I like to split certain parts and then speed certain parts up. Depending on the video, it may need something different, but for this kind of video where I'm opening a booster pack, I'll click the split button and then I'll move the marker down to the point where I start going through the cards. I will click on that bit of footage, split that, and then on the right hand side I will be able to do all of my edits to that particular piece of footage. So there's a speed option, so I'll take that up to 4 times speed, move that down. Depending on the video, I may also detach audio as well. Like if sometimes if you've got a bit of audio like a loud pop for some reason, or if the microphone's picking something up a bit louder than something else, then you can just change the volume down by clicking this purple line here and just drag that down should you need to. You can also detach the audio should you want to, or do a freeze frame as well. You do also have the option to add text. There's a bunch of different styles. I sometimes add text to the beginning and the end of videos, depending on the needs of the video. Once you do add the text, what you don't do is what I just did. So I'll undo that, drag the text there. Now, when you click on the text, you'll get the editing. When you click on the text, you'll get the editing options on the right-hand side. So you can do various things. You can add transitions and animations, and you can change all the colors, fonts, and that kind of thing. There's also some preset styles, and you can save any of those to your brand kit should you want to at any point. With the text, what I usually like to do is start off with one snippet of text, and then if I want to put like another one anywhere else in the video, like let's say at the end, oh, we got Sandy Shocks EX in that pack. So I will just copy and paste. So if you're on a Mac, that's Command C to copy and then Command V to paste. Or if you're on Windows, then that's Control C, Control V. I do that just so I don't have to style the text again based on the styles that are there. It's just make sure that they're both matching up. But for this one, I'm going to leave that out, and I'm going to add some audio. So just have to make sure that's in the right place and drag it accordingly. Now, with the music, I should say, I'm going to split that at the end, delete that, and then bring down the volume, because the volume of the audio end, or it always tends to be quite loud. So I've got that. Usually I have it around somewhere like 20%, but it depends on the level of the music. You just have to sort of play it back and get a quick sense of what's going on. The one main thing when adding music is that you'll be cutting it at some point. So if you leave it at that, you'll get a pop. So to avoid that, on the right hand side we find effects and then fade out. Click that. It'll default to 1 second, but we can change that as we need it to. I'm just going to leave it 1 second there, and that stops you getting a pop when you cut the audio, because otherwise your video would end with some kind of popping sound. Now, the other thing worth mentioning is that if you're doing videos for TikTok, you can only have 60 seconds of music in your video. So if your video is 1 minute and 15 seconds, if you have 1 minute 15 seconds of music in that video, not just dialogue, specifically music, then they will scrub the audio, all of the audio, including your dialogue, from the video. So to avoid that, you have to make sure that whatever music that you're adding is no longer than 60 seconds. I usually go for 59 seconds max, just to be on the safe side. And that just means that when you do publish a video, you're not going to check TikTok and go, oh no, they've removed all my audio, because that's really annoying. So that is something that's caught me a couple of times, but now it's just part of the workflow. So now that the music has been added, I don't always add music, it just depends on the video really. The next thing is subtitles. So we just click auto subtitles, we deselect the music track that we've added, click auto subtitle, that'll generate. So it can take a little while to generate, just depends on the length of the video, that kind of thing. Here we go. Cool. So we have the option to change the number of characters per subtitle. I've got it down to 12 just to make it a bit snappier. And then we just go through, we make whatever edits we need to make. in the case of Pokemon cards, they have really weird names, so that is something I always have to check for these videos specifically. And we can then add emojis should we want to. Now, once that's done, I will style them. So on the right hand side, we can change how these subtitles are going to appear. So we can, when we have that selected, scroll through, we can change the font size. So I might go for Railway. We can change the colours and all that kind of thing. And we can change the active colour, etc. And we can reposition them by just dragging and dropping, and we can also resize them a bit. And that's pretty much it. Really, it's a really, really quick process. The final part is just going to export project and exporting it. I usually stick to the default settings, so MP4, the resolution will be automatic, and I usually leave the compression level somewhere in the middle as well. So we'll hit export. Now, when that export finishes running, you will see that export on the recent exports tab. So that's where it is, and you can download it straight from there. Now, the thing with some tools like this is that you will have to leave the editor open for it to export, but that's not the way that Capwing works. It'll run the export in the background, so that means that you can have another couple of tabs open editing other videos while you wait for one to be exported, which is quite useful, and it can help you get quite productive. So sometimes if I'm editing a batch of, like, let's say 5 or 6 videos, I'll start with one video. I will get all of the edits and everything done in that one video to make sure I know what the rest of them are going to look like. Then I will duplicate that however many more times I need to, delete all of the footage out of each one of those. So I will end up with a couple of video editors open, and then I will complete like the first round of edits to one, and then I will start the subtitle generation on that one, move to the next video, do the basic edits, start the subtitles, and then move to the next one. Then once I get to the end of the videos that I'm doing, then I will go back to the others and run the exports as well. So that's what you can do just to speed things up a little bit. Otherwise, it's going to take you a lot longer to do. So that's one of the things that I do to just save a bit more time on this process. So once I've got the videos ready to schedule, I will open up SocialBee and I will start scheduling. Now, I am an affiliate for SocialBee. I'll put my affiliate link down below this video if you want to support the work that I do. Other scheduling tools are available, but I like this one because the scheduler is quite advanced and it uses a queuing system which I find just easier to work with. So I've got a couple of different queues set up. I've got one for images and 2 for video. So in an ideal world, I would be publishing a video per day on this channel. But it's not an ideal world, and I generally won't always get time to do that many videos. So I will either use the 7 video per week category, or I'll use the 2 video per week category, just depending on what my video output is like at the time. So these queues or categories have a schedule attached to them. So for example, images go out on Tuesdays and Fridays. The 7 per week video content goes out 1 per day, each day of the week. And the 2 per week is set up for Tuesdays and Saturdays, but I'm mostly doing just video content for this project anyway. So let's go ahead and add a post, and I'll drag in the video, and we've got our preview over there, and I'll just write a quick description. There we go. We can add hashtags to this as well. Now, we do need to customize this for each profile. So with Instagram, it's set by default as feed and reel, so it will share to feed and as a reel as well. We can share it as just a reel or just a story if we want to. We also have the option to add a first comment to the post, and we will also need to set a thumbnail. That's the main thing that we'll need to do. And you can add one from your computer, or you can just scan through the video to pick the scene to use. So I'll just start with the very beginning, and then we move on to Facebook, and I can set that to share as a feed post, story, or reel. I'm going to go with reel, and set the thumbnail again, X. Don't really care about X, to be fair. Now with YouTube, you will need to add a title there. Now I always like to put hashtag shorts at the end. This is not specifically for the algorithm as such. It's more because people who use RSS feeds and they want to filter by shorts and regular YouTube videos, they will only be able to filter by video type using an RSS feed if they have hashtag shorts or something to indicate that it's a short in the title, and that they will also have to build some kind of custom filter or something like that. So that's the main reason why I put that in there. And then we can add hashtags as necessary. I'm just going to go ahead and just set the thumbnail. We can also add a first comment as well. For TikTok, we need to select public, and then add a thumbnail, select comment, duet stitch, whack in some hashtags. Threads, you don't need to set a thumbnail for that one. It's actually the same as Twitter is. I am going to put in a hashtag, though. They have changed hashtags to topics, but that's fine. So now it's a case of when to publish. So we can either publish now, or we can post at a specific time. When we choose a specific time, we can choose multiple times. So that's pretty cool. Now, it all depends on what is most suitable at the time. So if I've got a video that I need to just get out of the door and it doesn't matter about the queue or the category, I'll select content without a category, and then I'll either select post now or a specific posting time. But most of the time it's going to be just thrown into a category depending on my video output at the time. So I'm going to say 2 per week. I can requeue this after posting, but the way that I'm approaching this is all of the videos are going to be pretty much sequential, so that's not really going to make sense for this project. There is an option to expire posts in your queue, so you can expire after it was published X amount of times, or expire at a specific date. That's quite useful if you're running anything time sensitive. And then save post, and then that's it, done. The video goes into the queue or is scheduled based on whatever you've chosen here, and then that's it. Job done. And that's a wrap. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.